Country music has some really freaking weird songs.
I am weird.
Some of these have had famously weird lyrics, like Bobby Bear's Drop Kick Me Jesus.
Drop kick me Jesus through the goalposts of life.
Or Johnny Cash's Flushed Me from the Bathroom of Your Heart.
I've been flushed from the bathroom of your heart.
Some of this music is intentionally funny, stuff like the Hot Country Nights, or Wheeler Walker Jr., or even Cletus T. Judd.
And bake me a country ham, honey glazed with a side of yam.
And some of it has been unintentionally funny, or just super strange, the kind of thing we look at and we're like, damn, that really happened? I'm thinking maybe the last Zac Brown solo era.
Tell all the haters
And, of course, Chris Gaines.
I like that.
But a lot of weird or obscure country music has just been memory hold. It's been lost in the sea of the internet, it's been quietly taken down, or we have just collectively chosen not to remember it. And this video is just my attempt to remember some of it. I've been a dedicated country fan for about a decade now, and every time I encounter something super strange that I didn't know about, I just try to make a note of it. I mean, this happened literally yesterday morning with Walker Hayes, where I was somehow unaware of his Justin Bieber hair era where he had a song called Pants.
Well, she can wear the pants, yeah, long as I can take them off her. Woo-hoo.
So let's just look at some super weird country music that you probably forgot about. And mind you, not all of this is going to be weird in the same way that maybe a Tim Burton movie is weird. Some of this, it's just weird that it ever existed. It's a loose use of the term weird. I'm just intrigued by this stuff. First on my list is HGTV's own The Property Brothers, who, when they're making music, and yes, they make music, go by the Scott Brothers. Maybe the idea of an open concept has infected the mind of TV stars and made them think there should be no walls between us and the music stars, but for about 5 years now, the Property Brothers have been torturing us with their songs. And frankly, more power to them. I don't think they really think that they're going to have any success on the country charts, although they write a lot with Victoria Shaw, who's also written songs for Garth Brooks.
I like that.
But I don't know that we've got Garth level quality here.
Another new town, making new memories, making each moment count. My new favorite places where
I would describe their sound as treacly, G-rated, and maybe in need of a complete renovation.
So I'm coming home to you.
I mean, just listen to the stunning vocals of Hold On, or the moving sentiment of Let the Night Shine In.
you can do what you want to do. Hey, come on, you know you want to. Get up, guys, still jam.
And I did not know about this until I started prepping for this video, but they have a country cover of Flo Rida's My House.
Hear a knock at the door and the night begins.
That they somehow got Eric Paslay to do the rap verse of.
Welcome to my den, the crib, the spot, the pad. But my house is yours if you don't want it back.
And Eric, what did they have to do to get you to do this? Did they like wallpaper over your family? Or did they threaten to destroy your kitchen island? Or shave a chevron pattern into your beard? I really don't know, but at least this one lady in the music video seems to really be enjoying it.
Welcome to my house.
Next on my list is Bobbi with an I by Phil Vassar.
That's just Bobby with an eye. Here's just one of the guys.
Now when I think of Phil Vassar, I probably think of the same song that you guys do, Just Another Day in Paradise, but he had a few other hits in the early 2000s, but I was somehow completely unaware of this song about a cross-dresser named Bobbi that he released as a real single back in 2008. It only made it to number 46 on the radio, but it's kind of hilarious and kind of a jam.
Well, that's just Bobby with a
And I can feel everyone tightening up in their chair a little, like, oh gosh, is this song retroactively super offensive and gonna get everyone canceled? But not really at all. It's a very live and let live song. If anything, it's kind of a celebration of this linebacker dude that is Bobbi with an I on the weekends and wears a pink party dress. And the only kind of creepiness that is imputed on the song is to you as a listener that says, you better watch what you drink. She might look better than you think. I really had no idea that this song existed until a few of you DM'd it to me when I was prepping for this video, and it made me chuckle. Another one I want to talk about in this video is Alecia Elliott's I'm Diggin' It.
Hold on, what's this feeling? That's my heart, you're still in
Now, there's nothing that weird about this song. It's your standard kind of pop country song, although the pop country of 20-odd years ago sounds a lot more country than the pop country of today. This one's on here for its music video, which is glaringly similar to a little song called Hit Me Baby One More Time by Britney Spears. You want choreography in a lockered hallway? This video's got it. You want a separate set where she is singing among a sports team? This song's got it. It's just with football players instead of basketball players. Country music has this bad habit of sometimes just chasing pop music and doing whatever they were doing a few years before in a lamer way in country, and I feel like this video is maybe pretty good evidence of that. And if you want to be totally generous and say that there's no Britney Spears influence here, then you can at least say, oh, this is inspired by Shania Twain. I do wish there was a better quality version of this video that existed somewhere on the internet, because I think it's a hilarious time capsule to kind of the turn of the millennium style.
It's your sweet love, I'm feeling it, can't get.
Complete with the brightly colored Mac computers in the computer lab. I feel like that whole first decade of the 2000s, we thought because everyone had a phone, everything was going to be super documented, but I kind of feel like it's this lost era where it's kind of hard to find stuff from then on the internet. And speaking of recycled pop music, let's talk about Haley Georgia's Ridiculous.
You're ridiculous. The way you walk on by, giving me a high five.
This is a song from 2015. The video's not even on YouTube anymore, although I snagged a copy of it years ago because I was like, this is an interesting song. It feels very inspired by the talk rap stylings of Kesha as well as Iggy Azalea.
I said, baby, I do this. I thought that you knew this.
The song was put out by a major label, Universal, that was trying to kind of poke the bear and piss off all the same people that something like Old Town Road would piss off, or someone like Sam Hunt would, and kind of provoke country audiences. But mainly, there was the shock value of the chorus where she says,
You're a dick, you're a dick, you're a dick, you're a dick, you're ridiculous.
and of course, this low-key way of calling someone a dick was made most famous by Simple Plan.
I'm a dick, I'm addicted to you.
Audiences did not really take to the gimmick or flock to the song, and a few years later she tried a new gimmick, kind of riffing on Sir Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back, where she was saying,
Oh my God, Becky, look at his truck. Becky, look at his truck like it's been.
and it looks like she's still working, writing, performing in Nashville, and Eric Church is one of the people that discovered her, so clearly she's got some kind of hit maker, songwriting ability in her. Hey, maybe down the road she'll write something I just freaking love. There's got to be a Trace Adkins song somewhere in this video, and I'm going with Brown Chicken, Brown Cow.
Shucking those dirty old work clothes off, singing brown chicken, brown cow.
It takes a lot of gumption and self-confidence to want to build not just a song, but a single and a whole music video out of a joke inspired by the bow chicka wow wow sound that kids make to describe sex.
Bow, chicka, bow, wow. That's what my baby says. Now, now.
But Trace Adkins is nothing if not an advocate for rather obvious humor, and there's a place for that. I mean, he's got songs like Chrome and Honky Tonk Badonkadonk.
With that honky tonk, but don't
No! God, please, no! No! No!
But the song Brown Chicken, Brown Cow, about a farmer and his girl hooking up in a barn and the sound brown chicken, brown cow happening, I mean, it's another level. It's only really competing with Corn Star in terms of strange, farm-themed sexual pun songs.
She's a porn star.
Or maybe Big Green Tractor, depending on what you believe about that song. Or maybe this next one that I want to talk about, Jerrod Niemann's Donkey.
Gonna ride that donkey, donkey, down to the honky tonky.
Jerrod Niemann was sort of on top of the world with I Could Drink to That All Night. I mean, it is extravagantly his biggest hit. It got a Pitbull remix, and speaking of weird, Pitbull keeps trying to sneak in here on country radio. He also has that Blake Shelton song.
ATL, Nashville to the shack. West side, family.
But when Jerrod Niemann was at his height, he followed up that song with this song, Donkey.
Got nothing to drive but just outside. I hear my ride.
Which at first is about his car breaking down and needing to ride a donkey to the honky-tonky because it's going to get funky. And then there are loud hee-haws all through the chorus. But about halfway through the song, it seems to switch into a loose metaphor about his penis being the donkey. Which donkeys everywhere must be offended by, where they're like, dude, we're already used synonymously with ass, and now you're going to do this? He says, the ladies like to ride my donkey. And he says, they walk funny when they're done riding my donkey. And so the narrative of the song kind of gets lost from the original transportation theme, which is a lot for a lyric, and to use another farm animal, a little cocky.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
Anyway, the song tanked, and Jerrod really hasn't had a big hit since. Next up is Turn Me On Like the Radio by Rainey Qualley.
Baby, you turn me on like the radio.
If you look up Rainey Qualley today, you are not able to listen to any of her music on streaming platforms, and the videos from this album seem to be gone off the internet. But she's the daughter of actress Andie MacDowell, who kind of first came to notoriety as Miss Golden Globe in 2012. And it's easy to see why she was given that role. She's incredibly gorgeous. But by 2015, she was trying to make inroads into the country scene, and she came out with this song called Turn Me On Like the Radio. And I remembered this song for two reasons. First off, I thought it was a great example of country artists kind of paying fealty to radio, as they always do, because they want radio to play them. And there's so many songs about turning the radio up, or how, in this case, radio can help you seal the deal if someone turns her on like the radio.
You're pushing all the right buttons tonight.
So I thought it was a good example of that, but moreover, I remembered the visuals of this video where she was some sort of fembot, sex robot radio machine being put together by a lab of dudes. And especially at the time, given how few women were playing on country radio and all the accusations of sexism, it just struck me as this really loaded, fascinating image, but one that also felt like profoundly unserious, and I wouldn't really want to be framed like this as my debut as an artist. I actually think the sound of the song is really good, and I think her voice on stuff like this, and she has another song called Me and Johnny Cash, she's got this real low voice. I think it sounds super cool, but for whatever reason, it feels like Rainey Qualley wants to distance herself from this stuff. It's all off the internet. Maybe her mom was pushing her to perform and she didn't want to. That's kind of what I seem to pick up from interviews.
And you, Rainey, are an entertainer of sorts yourself. I understand this song, Turn Me On Like the Radio, is doing very well?
Oh, yeah, well, it just came out. We're going to go to radio next month, and I'm excited about it.
She just moved to Nashville, and she's written all these amazing songs, so some stuff is really cooking now for her, so I'm fired up about it.
But according to my research, she now goes by Rainsford as a musician and makes way more kind of poppy, vibey music. And her Instagram has this kind of hipster model aesthetic to it. And this isn't really a song as much as a moment in time, but we gotta talk about the band Perry's Lost Heart Plus Beat era.
We're gonna live, we're gonna live.
Now, if you recall, the band Perry was riding high and had become one of the biggest acts in all of country music and released 2 super successful albums. Well, in 2015, they kind of rebranded themselves all in yellow and released this much, much poppier song called Live Forever. And suddenly there were laser lights in the music videos, and the guys were doing some light choreography, and Kimberly was showing her midriff, and they were singing this kind of almost Disney Channel version of pop music that had faux inspirational lines like, "We're gonna live forever," and "This time I want it all," mixed with... And all of it was just super weird. Audiences were like, no thank you, we don't want this. We would prefer the sort of southern gothic, maybe a little bit bluegrass inspired, harmony-driven sound that we fell in love with. So then they scrubbed all their social media, and instead of yellow, they rebooted again with kind of beige. And then they released a song called Comeback Kid about how people shouldn't count them out, and it's kind of on the defensive. There's even this one moment where Kimberly says, "How dare you forget where we started from," and then references the notes of If I Die Young, their most popular hit. But audiences really didn't want that either, so then they scrubbed their social media again and rebooted in all black with leather. And eventually released a song called Stay in the Dark. And all the while this was happening, this album Heart Plus Beat had been announced, but it kept getting pushed back and pushed back. Then they split ways with their label Big Machine, and then they ended up releasing an EP, moving out to LA, and now they're making this kind of techno-infused sound. It's very, very fascinating, but so weird that it happened. It's like they must really, really want this, and I kind of have some respect for it, and I've talked about that before, but they literally torpedoed their whole career to chase after the sound and image, or images as it were, that they wanted to have. And I often look back at that whole 3-year period and I'm just like, damn, that is so strange. I mean, they really were one of the biggest acts in country music, and then just poof, they weren't anymore. Anyway, that's enough weird and strange for me today. I think I'm gonna stop there, see what you guys think of these songs, or if any of you even remember them, or if I'm just too much of a nerd and actually bother to document this stuff when really nobody cares. So that's it from me. I'll see you guys soon with a bunch more stuff.